Hey y'all, Grown Black Folks Talk back out on the climb, and it has been a minute. Misty, where have you been? Doing a lot of stuff. I'm right now working on course modules for Seizing the Crypto Bull Run for Financial Freedom and getting ready for my keynote appearance at the Faith Business Success Virtual Summit coming up on May 2nd through the 4th. I'll put the registration link for your free ticket. Will be in the description of this and a number of other videos up till the time of the event. But I have not been unaware of things that are going on in the community. I just have to prepare solutions. And that's a very important thing. I'm going to warm up a conversation about solutions in wake of a tragedy that has overtaken a young black sister. But let's talk about today the black woman switchboard. And generally speaking, don't be that person. But I made an exception today because these are all black male elders who are still getting used to cell phone life, who I respect because of the work they do in the community and because they acknowledge the contributions of black women. So why does it take a goodly number of them can't reach each other on the phone? So of course, all those phone calls come in my direction. So now I'm trying to get messages to a whole bunch of people moving over a whole bunch of the San Francisco Bay Area to be able to make sure connects are made and not missed. You wonder how it is that these men automatically knew that if they couldn't get it done as men, a woman would be able to get it done. That's because it's the nature of black history in the United States of America. When it was time for black people to be delivered by the hundreds, if not by the thousands, it wasn't Harriet Tubman. In fact, Harriet Tubman's first husband threatened to put her back into slavery if she kept agitating for freedom. She came back to get him out and found he had a whole nother woman who was okay with that. And I've heard it said since by black women that the reason my husband is still married to me is because he used to just rotate him. And when he wasn't happy with him, he used to turn her back in. But I told her, I'm not one of those women. You're not rotating me nowhere. So they managed to make their marriage work because he had no choice but to make it work at that point. Well, that's the same thing Harriet Tubman was going through. When someone needed to document what was going on with lynchings, it wasn't Adam Wells. Ida B. Wells was married. It was Ida. And if you look through black history, okay, who put together the civil rights programs? I learned this from Auntie Love, Confidence with Love. Septima Clark put together a lot of that program. Who convinced Martin Luther King that he needed to tell folks about the dream? Tell them about the dream, Martin, was Mahalia Jackson. We have always been essential. And as I said, these particular elders who needed me to be the switchboard for them today, I respect them because of the work they've been doing in the community and the work they continue to do in the community. So, if one of them changes phone numbers, if the other one's phone isn't working, I'll do that for them. Why? Because they have been doing the work and they honor and respect black women and girls. One of the men who was involved in this has a serious leadership position. But there's a women's initiative going on parallel to what he's doing. All he did was walk in and drop off some carrot cake, smile, and tip his hat and get on his way. It wasn't for him to mess in and dominate. His wife shortly thereafter bought in because there was a pizza party going on for the kids, but they put 2 pizzas to the side. So his wife shortly thereafter bought in 2 big pizzas and started slicing them and cutting them up. So we had carrot cake and pizza, and of course all I had to do was get home and definitely add a bunch of greens to that, but it was all good. This man respects his wife, respects black women. I ain't got a problem with it. So when he needs some help on something, because it is in the nature of human beings to need help, and since men want to talk about I'll make him a help meet for him, then that means that, and by the way, that doesn't mean help meet or slave or helper. It means a help that is suitable. Meet in King James English, M-E-E-T, means suitable. Adam was looking at the animals and could not see his match among them. So God made him woman. But since man was not meant to do it by himself, it's fine when men actually humble themselves and ask for help. In fact, it's better. But at the same time, you cannot be needing help and then trying to lord it over. That doesn't work. Because if you're counting on me to do it, I'm the leader. Period. That's just how that is. You cannot ask a group of people to continue to be slaves and then be responsible for everything at the same time. So don't be the switchboard for men who do not respect you. Don't do that. Don't be the switchboard too often for men who do respect you. This is, like I said, a special case that happened as I'm trying to get out of the house. I'm out here doing my walk, working it in, but I've got 3 things, and even 4 if I have time enough to do them, to accomplish, because otherwise I have to take another day's trip. So that set me back a little bit. But in that case, that's okay, because these men are doing the work in the community. They're elders with a good track record. That's an exception. There's always can be an exception to the rule. But understand that the rule is, we do not provide labor to men who want to dominate us without doing their part. It's like James Brown already told us, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. So if you're going to be in charge of anything, you have to be the responsible leader for it. Don't be black men's switchboard. Don't provide all kinds of labor that is not being, the person asking you is not asking in a respectful way, and does not have respect for black women. We passed that time in history. It's okay for Harriet and Ida to take care of themselves and their children first, if we are in an environment where black men are generally not interested in doing that. Now, there are exceptions to the rules. Like I said, I know some people who are holding it down. But for all others, no. Don't be the switchboard. Don't be the one that makes foolery work. Step out. This is the warm-up to the next video, which is a little bit more difficult. It's why I chose to come out into this beautiful spring day to talk about it. All right, see you in a little bit.